I never thought love could feel like a warm blanket one moment and a sharp knife the next. You're coming to dinner tonight, right? I asked Elena as I set my phone down on the table. Yeah. I'll be there, she said, barely looking up from her phone. Something about the hesitation in her voice made my stomach twist. I might be late. Work stuff. Late again. I tried to keep my tone light, but there was an edge I couldn't hide. We haven't had a proper dinner in weeks. She shrugged, flipping her hair over her shoulder. I know. Don't be mad. It's just, things are busy. I nodded, forcing a smile. Busy is fine. I get that. I miss us. Her eyes flicked up, meeting mine for a brief moment before sliding away. I miss us too, she whispered. Then, just like that, her gaze returned to her phone. I hate how much it hurt. Elena, if something's wrong, tell me. You've been distant. She laughed softly, but it wasn't warm. Distant? No, I'm just focused. Focused. That word burned. I didn't know what she was focused on, but I felt it slipping, the bond we'd built since college, the late-night talks, the dreams we painted together. All of it, thinning. Focused on what? I pressed, my voice softer now, almost pleading. Her fingers hesitated over the screen. Nothing. Just, old friends, school stuff, work stuff. Don't overthink it. I swallowed hard. Is there, someone else? She looked at me then, startled. What? No. Don't be ridiculous. Because I can't ignore the way you light up when you talk about Adrian, I said, heart pounding. The name tasted like ash on my tongue. Her face went pale for a fraction of a second. It's complicated. He's just someone from the past. That's all. Just someone from the past. I laughed bitterly. You used to call me that once when we met. You know what? It doesn't feel like just anymore. She reached for my hand, but I pulled back. Don't. Please. I could see her eyes pleading, but also, a flicker of guilt. Or was it fear? I didn't know anymore. I can't do this if you're hiding things from me. I'm not hiding anything, she said, voice rising. I love you. I need space sometimes. You can't control everything. I ran my fingers through my hair, frustration mixing with something deeper, fear, doubt, betrayal. Space. We've talked about this. We've dreamed about building a life together. And now, space. She bit her lip, looking away. I need to think, okay? Think about what? I demanded. About us? About me? Or about him? The silence that followed was deafening. Finally, she spoke, softer than I expected. I think I need to be with him. Adrian. He can give me things you can't. I froze. My chest tightened. What are you saying? She nodded slowly, eyes downcast. I'm sorry. I really am. I tried to fight it, but it's too late. I love him, not you. The floor seemed to tilt beneath me. You're leaving me, for him. Yes. Her voice was calm, almost rehearsed. I can't do this anymore. I have to go. I couldn't breathe. My voice caught. After everything, after us, this is it. She gave a small, sad smile. I'm so sorry. And just like that, she was gone, leaving me in that small apartment, surrounded by all the memories we'd made. Her scent lingered, a cruel reminder of what I had lost. I sank into the couch, staring at the empty room, my hands trembling. I tried to scream, but no sound came out. My mind spun in loops of disbelief, anger, and heartbreak. I can't believe this. Why her? Why now? I felt hollow, humiliated, confused. The woman I loved, who had promised forever, had chosen someone else, someone rich, confident, untouchable. And there I was, left with nothing but my broken heart. I stared at the table, at the untouched dinner I had prepared, at the phone that still glowed with her last message, "I'm sorry. I hope you understand." I didn't understand. Not at all. I couldn't sleep. I kept staring at the ceiling, replaying every word Elena had said, every look, every smile she once gave me. I whispered into the darkness, "How did it come to this?" My phone buzzed. It was Mark. "Dude, you awake?" Yeah. My voice sounded hollow. "You sound like hell," he said. "I've been calling you all day. Where have you been?" "Nowhere. Just thinking." I didn't want to explain. Not to anyone. "Thinking," he chuckled, but it wasn't funny. "You mean obsessing over her?" I flinched. "Maybe. Can't help it. Look, man, you need to snap out of it. She made her choice. You can't live in this hole forever." "I know, but it feels like someone ripped my chest open." I swallowed hard. I keep wondering, did I do something wrong? Was I not enough? You were enough. You still are. She just wanted something else. I scoffed. Something else? She wanted wealth, luxury. Adrian. Yeah, and you can't control that. You can't. I keep seeing them everywhere, I muttered. Her posts, their dinners, the vacations, everything I couldn't give her. And it kills me. Mark sighed. Then don't look. Focus on yourself. Start small. You've got talent, drive. Don't waste it crying over someone who walked out. I try. I really do. I closed my eyes, but the images kept playing. It's like my brain refuses to stop. I see her laughing with him, the way she used to laugh with me. Stop torturing yourself, Mark snapped, gently. Come out tonight. A few beers. Talk. Clear your head. I don't know, I said, the words weak. I feel empty. You're not empty. You're hurt. Big difference. Let me help you. I'll think about it, I muttered, but I knew I'd go. I had to. Mark had always been my anchor. The next day at work, Lisa noticed the slump in my shoulders before I even said a word. You okay? She asked, her tone careful. I forced a shrug. Yeah, just tired. You've been distant. More than usual. I'm fine, I said, avoiding her eyes. She nodded, unconvinced. If you need someone to talk to, I'm here. I smiled faintly, grateful, but my mind wandered. Even here, I couldn't escape Elena. I imagined her at Adrian's apartment, laughing at jokes I wasn't part of. She's living the life I thought we'd build, I muttered under my breath. Lisa tilted her head. What was that? Nothing. Just talking to myself, I said quickly. I left work early that evening, my stomach a knot of anger and sorrow. I couldn't help it, I had to confront her. Not for reconciliation, but for answers, for closure. I dialed her number. It rang twice. Then she picked up. What do you want? Her voice was cool, almost taunting. I need to see you, I said. We need to talk. Talk. About what? You already know the truth. I need to understand. Why? My voice cracked. She laughed softly, cruelly. Understand? I told you, I love him. He can give me what you can't. Money, stability, life I want. You'll have to deal with that. You're serious? I shouted, anger burning through my chest. Yes, I'm serious. And honestly, I don't want to see your face again. Face again? I repeated, stunned. So, this is it? She paused. Yes. It's over. Move on. You'll survive. I hung up before I could say more, feeling both numb and furious. My hands shook, and I whispered to myself, move on, survive, sure. But I swear, I won't let this ruin me forever. Later that night, I found myself scrolling through her posts again, seeing the life she flaunted, the luxury she had chosen over us. Every image stabbed at me, every caption a reminder. I clenched my fists. No, I said aloud, voice steadying. This doesn't define me. It won't. I will rise, not because she left, but because I refuse to stay broken. I could feel it, a flicker of fire in the pit of my chest. The anger, the heartbreak, all of it transforming into determination. I'll show her, not with revenge, not yet. But with my life. My empire. My success. Mark's words echoed in my mind, you're not empty. You're hurt. Big difference. I swallowed hard, staring at the dark ceiling. Big difference, I whispered. And for the first time since she left, I believed it. Mark, are you sure we can pull this off? I asked, pacing across my tiny apartment. Mark looked up from the laptop, his fingers tapping rapidly. I told you, I've crunched the numbers. We can do this. You've got the ideas, I've got the connections. We just need focus. I don't know, I muttered, rubbing my temples. I feel like I'm walking blind. Every step, every mistake could ruin us. Stop doubting yourself, he snapped, but kindly. You survived Elena leaving you. You survived the heartbreak. You can survive this. I shook my head. It's different. This is my future. My dream. And every time I see her on Instagram, vacation with him, new clothes, that stupid smile, my voice broke. I hate how easy it seems for her. Mark leaned back, exhaling. Then let that hate fuel you. Don't waste it crying. Build something she can't touch, can't ruin. I clenched my fists. You're right. I'll work. I'll make it mine. The nights were brutal. I remember pacing my living room at 2 a.m., empty coffee cups scattered across the table. Mr. Harris, I said over the phone, I don't know if this strategy will work. Maybe we're rushing it. You're thinking too small, Mr. Harris's calm voice replied. The goal isn't just to survive, it's to dominate. You need vision, not hesitation. You've got talent. Use it. I just feel like I'm failing sometimes, I admitted. Failures aren't permanent unless you let them be. Learn, adapt, move forward. You've got this, he said. I hung up and stared at my laptop. He was right. Each failed marketing pitch, each rejection email, each sleepless night was a lesson. I couldn't let myself crumble again. Not over failure, not over Elena, not over anyone. Mark, we got another meeting with the investors, I said, rubbing my eyes. Yeah, I saw. Are you ready? As ready as I'll ever be, I muttered, feeling the adrenaline mix with exhaustion. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about Elena. Her laughter echoed in my mind, her smile mocking me every time I closed my eyes. I whispered, I'll show her. I'll show everyone. You okay? Mark's voice cut through my thoughts. Yeah, just thinking. You're always thinking, he said. But that's why you'll succeed. Don't let the past chain you. Use it. I nodded, though he couldn't see me. Use it, right? I will. By the second month, small wins started. A client signed on, another complimented our work, and my confidence slowly returned. Mark, can you believe this? I asked, staring at the contract. Believe it? I expected it, he said, grinning. Now keep pushing. Bigger contracts, better clients. Don't stop. I smiled faintly, but inside, I was calculating. Elena would see my rise eventually. Maybe through some mutual friend, maybe on social media. That thought didn't bring warmth, it stoked the fire. She'll see me at the top, I whispered. Talking to yourself again? Mark laughed over the phone. Shut up, I muttered, smirking. Maybe. But you're not here to judge. True. I'm here to keep you focused. And hungry. You're getting that, right? Hungry, yeah, I said, gripping the phone tighter. Hungry for everything I deserve. And more. I started staying up later, brainstorming new ideas. Mark, what if we pivot the approach? Target this niche, then expand. That could double revenue in 6 months. Bold. I like it, he said. Do it. I'll support you all the way. Even with success creeping in, Elena's shadow lingered. Every luxury ad, every post of her smiling with Adrian, it burned me, but it also reminded me why I had to build my empire. I'll never let her, or anyone, see me weak again, I muttered. Mr. Harris called that week. You're doing well, he said. But don't get comfortable. The real challenge is maintaining momentum, scaling smartly. Don't lose focus. I won't, I said, determination sharpening in my chest. I'll rise, step by step. And when it all falls into place, I'll look back, and I'll know I earned it all. Good, he said. Remember, your mindset is your power. Keep it sharp. I hung up, staring out the window at the city lights. The empire wasn't built yet. But it was starting, one contract, one sleepless night, one hard-earned victory at a time. And in the back of my mind, I whispered again, one day, Elena, one day, you'll see what I've become. I walked into the office that morning, coffee in hand, reviewing emails on my phone. Mark, make sure the morning briefing starts on time, I muttered, barely noticing the hum of the office around me. Got it, he replied. As I rounded the corner near the main hallway, I froze. My heart skipped. There she was. Elena. Not the Elena I remembered, smiling, confident, glamorous, but a smaller, quieter version. Dressed in a plain uniform, mop in hand, cleaning the floor. I whispered under my breath, no, it can't be her. Jenna, my assistant, passed by. Morning. You okay? You look stunned. Yeah, I'm fine, I said, forcing a smile. My gaze stayed on Elena. She didn't notice me yet, focused on her work. I walked closer, pretending to check a clipboard. My stomach twisted. Elena? I asked softly. She froze, eyes wide, the mop slipping slightly in her hands. You're here. My voice was a mix of disbelief and curiosity. She swallowed, avoiding my gaze. I work here now. Just, part-time. Part-time. I repeated. My chest tightened. You clean the offices? Yes, she whispered. Her usual charm was gone, replaced by something smaller, humbler. I didn't expect to see you. I ran a hand through my hair. Neither did I. Wow, talk about surprises. Jenna peeked over her shoulder. Is everything okay? Yeah, I said, forcing composure. Just, catching up with an old friend. Elena's lips pressed together. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, this is awkward. Awkward is one word for it. I leaned against the wall, keeping my voice calm. How long have you been here? A few weeks, she murmured. I wanted to start fresh. Nobody knows me here. I nodded slowly, watching her. Fresh start, huh? My voice had a hint of sarcasm, but I fought the urge to smirk. Part of me wanted to enjoy seeing her humbled. Another part felt uneasy, guilty even. Ravi, the security chief, walked past. Morning, sir. He glanced at Elena briefly and continued his rounds. I noticed the way he glanced down at her work, neutral, but professional. I turned back to Elena. You're really doing this? Cleaning, for a living? She nodded, looking down. It's honest work. I had to change things. Adrian, he doesn't need me now. I needed something different. I clenched my fists. Different, sure. I didn't expect to see you here. Not like this. I didn't expect to see you either, she whispered. A moment of silence passed, heavy and uncomfortable. I wanted to say something sharp, something to test her. Does it bother you? Seeing me now? Her eyes flicked up, uncertain. I don't know. Maybe. I made mistakes. Mistakes? I asked, letting a small, controlled laugh escape. That's one word for it. You left me, for him. You chose him over everything we had. She winced, but didn't respond immediately. I know. I was foolish. I thought it was what I wanted. I see now, her voice faltered. See now? I pressed, my tone icy yet curious. What? That he's not everything. That you lost me. I see that I hurt you. And her words trailed off. I shook my head, trying to steady myself. Yeah. You did. My voice softened slightly, despite the anger still simmering. But, you're here now. You've got a choice to make every day. How to live, how to move forward. She nodded slowly, almost as if my words gave her permission to breathe. I just want to do my job well. I don't want trouble. You won't get trouble from me, I said, though inside, I felt the tension of power shifting. I had the upper hand now, and yet, it didn't feel satisfying yet. Just, keep focused, Elena. That's all I ask. She glanced at me one last time, eyes soft, ashamed, but resigned. I understand. I walked away, pretending to be busy with my notes, though my mind raced. Part of me wanted to gloat silently, watch her humility in contrast to the past. Another part, a deeper, older part, still ached. I whispered to myself, this is just the beginning. Fate has its own way, Elena. And I'll see it through. Jenna passed by again, smiling. Everything all right now? I nodded, giving her a quick smile. Better than all right. Just, handling some old ghosts. Morning, Elena, I said, keeping my tone neutral as I walked past her workstation. Good morning, sir, she replied softly, eyes downcast. Her voice had lost its old confidence. I leaned slightly, pretending to examine some papers. Adjusting well? She hesitated. I think so. It's different, but I can manage. Good, I said, nodding. Attention to detail matters here. You've got to take your job seriously. I am, she murmured, glancing up briefly. I want to do right this time. I let a small smirk play at the corner of my lips. Right this time. Funny how you phrased that. Her face flushed. I mean. I'm sorry for before. For everything. I raised an eyebrow. sorry doesn't undo the past. But it's a start, I suppose. I know, she whispered, staring at the floor. I hope, you can see I'm trying. I nodded slowly, studying her carefully. She seemed smaller than she used to, hesitant. Part of me relished the subtle shift in power, but another part, a deep, stubborn part, still recognized the girl I had loved. Mark told me you've been taking your work seriously, I said, keeping my tone professional. I noticed. It's commendable. She blinked, surprised. You really mean that? Yes, I said firmly. Do your job well, and people will respect you. That's all that matters here. A ping from my phone drew my attention. Social media. I scrolled briefly, Adrian. The man she had chosen. New posts, luxury dinners, vacations, smiles meant to taunt without knowing it. She's with him, still, I muttered, more to myself than anyone else. Elena glanced at me. Is something wrong? Nothing, I said quickly, hiding the mix of satisfaction and lingering hurt. Just, seeing the world moving on. People making choices. She nodded, uneasy. Right. Choices. I observed her quietly. Her eyes flickered toward her mop tucked in the corner, a symbol of the humility she hadn't known before. You've changed, I said softly. Yes, she whispered. I have to. I can't go back. You can't, I repeated, the words heavy. And I can't pretend this doesn't affect me. It does. But I'm learning to accept it. She swallowed, voice barely audible. I never wanted to hurt you. I thought I was doing the right thing. I was wrong. You were wrong, I said, calm but firm. And you see it now. That's enough for now. For me. The office phone rang. I picked it up, masking my emotions. Yes, we'll handle it, I said. Then I hung up. My eyes returned to Elena. She looked down, hands fidgeting nervously. You're handling everything well, I said, leaning slightly closer. Even with distractions. She blinked, confusion in her eyes. Distractions? Life, I said simply. People, choices, past mistakes, they follow you. Her lips pressed together. I wish I could change the past. I regret it every day. I nodded slowly. Regret is heavy, Elena. Heavier than humility. You've learned it the hard way. Let that guide you, not haunt you. She looked at me, eyes glistening. I never thought I'd see you like this. Successful. Strong. I swallowed. I didn't build this to show you. I built it to prove to myself I could rise. But yes. I'll admit, seeing you here, it's a reminder of choices and consequences. She nodded, looking down again. I understand. I'll keep focused. No mistakes this time. You better, I said, tone sharp but not cruel. This is your chance to prove yourself. Not to me, to yourself. A soft laugh escaped her. I never thought I'd get this chance. Then don't waste it, I said firmly. Take every moment seriously. You'll learn more here than you ever could anywhere else. I turned to leave, then paused. One more thing, I said, glancing back. Adrian, he's part of your past. Don't let him define your present. She swallowed hard, nodding. I won't. As I walked away, I felt a strange mix of satisfaction and lingering tenderness. Seeing her humbled fueled something dark inside me, yet I couldn't deny the echo of love still there. I whispered to myself, she'll learn. Fate has a way of teaching lessons, some of them painfully. "Morning, team," I said, entering the conference room with my usual briskness. "Let's get started." "Morning, sir," Elena whispered from her corner, her voice low, almost hesitant. I felt a jolt, a mixture of irritation and something else I didn't want to admit. "All right," I continued, flipping open my laptop. "We have a high-priority client, and everyone needs to be on top of their game. Ideas first." One of the colleagues spoke up, suggesting a marketing angle. I nodded, taking notes. Then Elena raised her hand slightly. I have a suggestion, sir. Maybe we could." I paused, heart hammering. Her voice sounded softer than I remembered, but confident enough to catch attention. "Adjust the budget allocation to focus on digital engagement. It could increase ROI by 20%. The room fell silent for a second. Then someone muttered, "Not a bad idea." I studied her closely, seeing the old spark buried beneath the humility. "Explain your reasoning," I said. She swallowed. "Digital platforms reach a wider audience quickly. Paid ads plus social media campaigns targeted strategically, we could maximize engagement efficiently." "Interesting," I said, trying to keep my voice neutral. "We'll test it. But, make sure you coordinate with the analytics team. Don't overstep." "Yes, sir," she said, nodding, cheeks faintly pink. Later, as we broke for a short coffee pause, Mark nudged me. "You're watching her too closely." "I can't help it," I admitted. She's competent. But seeing her like this, humbled, it throws me off." "Just don't lose control," he said. "Remember why you're here. This isn't about her. It's about you and the company." "I know," I muttered, though a part of me wanted to remind her of the past, to test her further. Back in the room, a colleague accidentally knocked over a stack of papers. Elena jumped, quickly gathering them. I'm sorry," she said, flustered. "I should have been paying attention." "Relax," I said, stepping closer. "Mistakes happen. Just, stay focused." Her eyes met mine briefly, nervous. "Yes, sir." The tension between us was palpable. I felt my chest tighten, the old emotions clawing at me. Anger, satisfaction, and something dangerously close to regret all mixed in a swirl. "Sir, can I ask something?" Elena said softly. I raised an eyebrow. "Go ahead." I want to understand. Why do you treat me this way? Sometimes cold, sometimes not." I exhaled, trying to steady my voice. "Because you made choices before that hurt me. And because I have to maintain control. My focus can't waver." She bit her lip, looking down. I see. I want to make things right, at least now." I nodded, swallowing a lump in my throat. "Then focus on your work. That's how you make things right." The client presentation loomed, forcing me to work closely with her. I handed her a section to handle. "Make sure the data is accurate. Precision matters." "Yes, sir," she said, glancing at me with a mixture of tension and hope. Minutes later, she presented her part flawlessly. I nodded slightly, trying to suppress the flicker of pride I felt. "Well done. You did good work." She exhaled quietly. "Thank you, sir." The project team murmured approval. I could see the respect forming, the subtle shift in her role from overlooked to competent. And yet, every compliment, every small success, made my chest tighten. I wanted to feel satisfied, maybe even triumphant. Instead, a quiet, painful longing settled over me. After the meeting, I approached her desk. "Elena," I said, voice low. "Yes, sir," she asked, eyes wide. I need you to keep this level up. No mistakes. Understood? Yes, sir, she said quickly, but I noticed her glance lingered on me, unsure. I also want you to know, I said, hesitating for a fraction too long, that I swallowed, forcing the words back. Never mind. Focus on your work. She tilted her head, confused. Never mind. I nodded, keeping my composure. Just, keep doing what you're doing. As I walked away, I felt the heat in my chest, the almost confession lingering between us. I whispered under my breath, close, but not yet. Not today. Elena watched me go, tension clear in her shoulders, her hands trembling slightly. I knew she wanted answers, closure, maybe even a chance for reconciliation. But I had learned patience, control, and the lesson of fate unfolding in its own time. Later, alone in my office, I scrolled through social media. Adrian again, flaunting more luxury, more power. I felt a dark satisfaction and a hint of pity for Elena, contrasting worlds, consequences made visible. I whispered, she'll have to live this reality, and I'll rise above it. I was reviewing quarterly reports when Jenna popped her head in. You heard the news? News? I asked, pretending curiosity. Elena, and some of the others are talking about Adrian's company. It's collapsing. Mismanagement, partners walking out, bad investments, everything. I felt a flicker of satisfaction, but I hid it behind a neutral expression. I see. And how is Elena handling it? She's shocked. I think she's realizing things, Jenna said softly. She looks different. I nodded, letting the silence linger. Part of me wanted to gloat, watch her process the consequences of her choices. Another part, a deeper part, struggled with the remnants of what I once felt for her. Later, I passed Elena in the hallway. You look pale, I said casually, trying to sound indifferent. I heard, she whispered, eyes darting down. It's unbelievable. I didn't. I mean. I never thought. You never thought. I echoed, forcing calm. You thought he was invincible. She swallowed, nodding. I trusted him. I thought. I made the right choice back then. But now. I see how foolish I was. I leaned slightly against the wall, masking my reaction. Foolish can be enlightening. Her lips pressed together, eyes glistening. I'm sorry. For everything. I regret how I left you, and I see now what I threw away. I studied her, conflicted. Regret is heavy, Elena. Heavier than pride or charm. You're learning the hard way. Yes, she whispered. I've learned more than I ever wanted to. I nodded slowly. Good. That's part of growing up. Facing consequences. Her shoulders sagged. I wish I could go back. I'd do things differently. I forced a small, controlled laugh. Going back isn't possible. You can only move forward, carefully this time. She blinked, looking at me with a mixture of hope and fear. Do you think I can? I don't know, I admitted, truthfully. It depends on what you do now. Your choices, your work, everything matters. Her gaze dropped to the floor. I'll try. I swear, I'll try. I nodded, though my chest tightened. Seeing her humbled brought a strange mix of vindication and lingering tenderness. That's all anyone can ask for. And, try hard enough, maybe you'll redeem yourself, in your own eyes. The office phone rang. I picked it up, answering briskly. Yes, we'll review the numbers, agreed, fine. I hung up, glancing at Elena. She was staring at the floor, quiet, tense. You're handling this, Well, I said softly, letting a small smirk escape. Not panicking, not falling apart. She exhaled, voice trembling slightly. I never wanted to see him fail. Or, anyone. But I understand now. Choices have consequences. Exactly, I said firmly. And now, it's time to focus on what's real. What's yours? Not the past, not him, not what you lost. Her eyes flicked up, meeting mine briefly. You really are thriving. Your company, it's incredible. I swallowed, a mixture of pride and subtle unease curling in my chest. Thanks. I've worked hard. Learned from mistakes. Pushed through heartbreak, built something that's mine. She nodded quietly. I see that now. And I admire it. I admire you. The words hit me differently than I expected. Pride, yes, but also a pang of something older, softer. I whispered under my breath, admit it, Elena, even now, you can't touch this. This is mine. Built from resilience. She swallowed, voice barely audible. I just wish I could have appreciated it, earlier. And you would've, I said quickly, cutting her off. You weren't ready. You made your choice. Yes, she whispered, looking down again. I know. I'm sorry. Truly. I nodded, letting the silence hang heavy between us. Part of me wanted to forgive her, maybe even reach out. Another part, the stronger, colder part, reminded me of her choices, of Adrian, and of the karmic justice unfolding. I turned to leave, but paused. Elena, remember this, I said softly. Life has a way of balancing itself. Some lessons are harsher than others. You're living now. She looked up, eyes shining with unshed tears. I understand. I walked away, feeling a quiet satisfaction, tempered by the lingering ache of memory. Adrian's empire crumbling, her humbled presence, my own rise, it all aligned. Karma in motion, undeniable and precise. Alone in my office later, I whispered to myself, fate has a way of teaching lessons, and I'm learning too. Watching it unfold, is power. And restraint. That's what separates me from the past, from her mistakes, from everything. Elena, can we talk? Her voice trembled as she approached my office door. I looked up from my papers, heart skipping. Sure. Come in. She stepped inside hesitantly, eyes downcast. I needed to. I can't keep pretending everything's fine. I gestured to the chair opposite me. Sit. Let's hear it. She perched on the edge, fidgeting with her hands. I was wrong. About everything. Leaving you, choosing Adrian. I thought I wanted wealth, status. I thought I knew what I wanted. But I didn't. I see it now. I ruined my life. I remained silent, letting her words sink in. My chest tightened, memories of betrayal surfacing like knives. Part of me wanted to lash out. Another part, something older, quieter, reminded me of patience, restraint, and purpose. I came to ask, if you can forgive me, she said, voice breaking. I don't expect to. I had to say it. I leaned back, studying her. Forgiveness is complicated, Elena. You hurt me badly. And you left me alone with the heartbreak. I know, she whispered. Every day I regret it. Every day I see what I lost. I've learned my lesson, painfully. I closed my eyes briefly, recalling sleepless nights, the anger, the despair. Do you think saying sorry changes anything? I asked quietly. No, she admitted, tears welling. It doesn't. But I need you to hear it. I need you to know I see my mistakes. I see you now, stronger, better, and I envy that, in a way. I hate myself for what I lost. I exhaled slowly, my emotions a turbulent storm. Part of me wanted revenge, to relish her humiliation. But another, wiser part reminded me, my victory wasn't her suffering. My victory was what I had become. Elena, I said, voice calm but firm, I won't deny the satisfaction in seeing you humbled. But that isn't my goal. My life, my growth, that's what matters. Not revenge. Her eyes widened slightly, confusion mixing with hope. So, you're not angry? I shook my head. Anger is fleeting. It fades. What lasts is how I respond. I choose self-respect, not cruelty. I choose wisdom, not impulsive satisfaction. She swallowed, trembling. I don't know if I deserve that. I don't even know what I deserve. You deserve accountability, I said softly. You face the consequences of your choices every day. That's part of life. You've learned it. That's enough for now. Her lips quivered. And me? Can I ever be forgiven? Perhaps, I said carefully. But forgiveness isn't mine to give entirely. It's earned. Through actions, not apologies. Through humility, not charm. You've begun that path. She nodded slowly, swallowing back tears. I'll try. Every day. I swear. Good, I said. Try for yourself. Not for me. Not for Adrian. Try because it's the right thing to do. That's how you rebuild, how you grow. She looked up at me, eyes shining with raw emotion. You've grown so much. Stronger, better than I imagined. I gave a small smile, tempered with gravity. I had to. Life forced me. Heartbreak, betrayal, they shaped me. I'm not who I was, and neither are you. Remember that. I do, she whispered. And I'll remember my place. And I'll never forget the lesson. I leaned back, voice gentle but firm. That's all I ask. Go forward with humility, awareness, and strength. And, don't expect my life to revolve around your regrets. She exhaled, relief and sadness mingling. I understand. Thank you, for listening. For not, hating me completely. Hate is useless, I said, standing. It poisons the heart. Use your energy for growth. That's how you heal, and that's how you become someone worth trusting. She rose as well, hesitant. I hope, someday, maybe. Maybe, I said, cutting her off gently. But for now, go. Focus on your life. That's enough closure for both of us. Her lips pressed together, eyes glossy with unshed tears. I will. Thank you, truly. As she walked to the door, I felt a strange mixture of relief, satisfaction, and lingering tenderness. The confrontation was over. I had not humiliated her, nor had I ignored her pain. I had maintained control, dignity, and self-respect. When the door closed, I whispered to myself, closure, finally. Not revenge. Not bitterness. Growth. That's victory. I sank into my chair, exhaling slowly, letting the weight of the past lift. Elena had been humbled, I had been tested, and in the end, the real triumph wasn't over her. It was over my own heartbreak, my own anger, my own choices. I was free. And that was worth more than any revenge I could have imagined. Mark, can you believe it? I said, stretching in my office chair, overlooking the skyline from my top-floor office. Believe what? He asked, sipping his coffee. This, all of this. From nothing, to this empire. I never imagined. I paused, letting the words hang. You imagined it, he said quietly. You just didn't believe it at first. I chuckled, shaking my head. I didn't. Back then, I thought heartbreak would destroy me. Elena choosing Adrian, watching my life crumble. I felt powerless. Mark nodded. And now? Now. I feel free. Strong. Focused. I've learned that power isn't just money or influence, it's control over yourself. Over your choices, your anger, your past. I leaned back, letting the city lights blur into a soft glow. Elena, she's still around, in the shadows. I see her sometimes in the news, minor mentions, quiet. She's humbled. And Adrian, irrelevant. Their world has collapsed, not by my hands, but by life itself. And does that satisfy you? Mark asked, cautious. I paused, thinking. At first, I thought revenge would taste sweet. Watching her falter, seeing Adrian fail. I craved it. But now I realize, my satisfaction never came from them. It came from me. From building something enduring. From proving that I could rise, no matter what life threw at me. Mark smiled. Sounds like you found your peace. Yes, I said quietly. And I did. Bittersweet, yes. The heartbreak, the betrayal, it still echoes. But it doesn't control me anymore. Every sleepless night, every failure, every lesson, they all shaped this moment. A soft knock at the door made me glance up. Come in, I called. Lisa stepped in, holding a folder. You've got the quarterly review ready for tomorrow, sir. Everything's in order. Also, I wanted to say, seeing you rise, even after everything, it's inspiring. I smiled at her. Thanks, Lisa. That means a lot. It wasn't easy, but nothing worth building ever is. She hesitated, then added, and, it's impressive how calm you are now. You've mastered yourself. Not just the company. I leaned forward, voice gentle. That's the real victory. Money, power, they can come and go. But understanding your emotions, mastering your reactions, that lasts. That's what heartbreak taught me. That's what betrayal taught me. She nodded, eyes soft. And Elena? I let out a slow breath. She's a memory now. A reminder of what I've overcome. No anger, no desire to humiliate, just acceptance. Karma, life, fate, it handled her. I handled myself. Lisa gave a small smile and left quietly. I sat back, alone, reflecting. Months ago, I would have been consumed by rage, jealousy, or obsession. Now, I feel gratitude. Gratitude for struggles, for failures, for lessons disguised as pain. I whispered under my breath, I am stronger than my past. I am the sum of every choice I've made, every challenge I've faced. I don't need to dwell on old wounds. They are mine, but they do not define me. The office was quiet. The city lights shimmered, distant cars humming below. I thought about the journey, college dreams shattered, love lost, betrayal, the long nights of building something from scratch. Every setback had taught me resilience, every loss had forged my independence. Mark re-entered, handing me a fresh cup of coffee. To the Empire, he said lightly. I clinked my cup with his. To the journey. And to rising stronger than ever. He nodded. And to knowing that real victory isn't about others' failures, but your own growth. I smiled, sipping the coffee slowly. Exactly. That's what I've learned. That's what matters. Elena, Adrian, they're shadows. My life is here, in this moment, and I'm in control. I've mastered the past, and the future is mine to shape. Mark tilted his head. And does it feel satisfying? I leaned back, gazing at the cityscape again, letting the glow wash over me. It feels complete. Bittersweet, yes, because of what I lost. But empowering. Independent. I am my own person, my own master. That's worth more than revenge, more than wealth, more than anything. He nodded approvingly. Then you've truly risen strong. I whispered to myself, softly, almost as a promise, I've risen. And I will never fall to heartbreak or betrayal again. Not ever. This is mine.